Why, hello, America. How are you doing today? Or at least Arizona, or my 8 followers. Actually went up in 1 subscription, so pretty excited. Hey, I'm starting this video just a little bit sooner than what I wanted to, because if you can hear that, not the humming in the background, but that little, it's raining in Arizona. August 16th, 7:13 p.m. Pretty exciting. We had a great rainstorm last night. But anyways, let's get into it. So what I'm going to do here, well, let's just get started. Boys and girls, can anybody tell me what this is? Little Johnny, can you tell me what this is? Is it a UFO? No, little Johnny, it's a compressor out of a refrigerator. And inside the compressor is copper. So you leave your refrigerators and stuff out, and scrappers come by and get them. Not the fighter scrappers, but metal scrappers and stuff, they come by and get them. And the reason they do is because there's a lot of recyclable material on them. So I'm not a scrapper. I'm what I would call a hobbyist. So what I'm going to be doing is taking this apart, getting as much recyclable material out of here as I possibly can. Recyclable meaning, well, for me, is copper. I don't know if there's any aluminum in here, but I know that there's copper inside here. The whole housing is made out of steel, so that I'm not going to be able to do that. But I can put it, you know, I can give it to somebody that does do that scrapping for their scrap pile. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to have to copper, because I built a forge out of an old propane tank, and got a bunch of crucibles where you put all the metal in and you melt stuff down. So when it cools down in lovely Phoenix, I'll do that. That was going to be one of my winter hobbies. This winter I've saved quite a bit of brass, copper, aluminum, and everything like that already, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 compressors that I've gotten out of refrigerators and stuff at work, and saw some on the side of the road, and so I stole the compressors out of them and left the rest of the refrigerator there. But don't blame me. That's all I wanted. You can have the other metal. So, so what I did already is when I pulled these lines off right next to the compressor, and out of that hole right there, I dumped all the oil. So that way, when I cut it open, I'm not making such a huge mess around here. But we'll see what's inside here. I already took off the components and stuff. Threw away all the plastic that I can't use. I'll put that in the recycle bin. But I already took all those components, took out the little brass pieces and copper pieces, and put them in the bucket. So I'll be using those a little bit later. And this little guy right here, let's see if you can hear that. Yeah, can you hear that? So there's some type of a media in here, and I think they're little, I think they're like little porcelain balls or ceramic balls or something like that to collect the moisture. So I'm gonna have to cut this one open. Let's see if I can get it. Let's see if I can cut it open right now. Cut the tip off. If I cut that off, I'm gonna put that in my melting bucket. Last night we had a great rainstorm here. I might actually need to put that sucker in a vise. All right, I'm gonna put you on pause here so I can go grab something. So I actually went and got my big fat wire cutters. Was able to get through this thing. This thing is a bear. Just has a lot of mass to it. But it is, that's what's in here is these little tiny ceramic balls. I'll show you. So we want to make sure that we take those out before we start trying to melt anything, because you don't want to. And I threw it in the wrong bucket too. Darn it. Oh well, they're at the bottom. But we'll make sure that we get all those out, so that way we're not, when we do our forge, we're not getting those in there and contaminating too much of our stuff. So there's that piece right there. All right. Well, now I'm going to get to the cutting part. As you know, I wear safety glasses and hearing protection. At least try to most of the time. So put that on. All right, so I got my hearing protection in. Got my glasses on. Putting on this bib because although these aren't my best clothes, they're not my worst either, so keep as much of the sparks off as possible. All right, so I've never taken one of these apart before, so I'm fairly interested. The plan is to cut off the cap, and I can hear the stuff moving around inside there, but I just don't know how it's attached. So that's the plan, and I'll aim the video down for you guys to see, and we'll get that sucker cut off. All right. Not too bad. A little hot. Got a little bit of a mess there. I feel like a surgeon getting ready to take off the skull cap of somebody I'm doing brain surgery on. Should probably have some gloves. There you go, the inside of the skull. Well, that wasn't super painful. Let's see what we got in here. Make sure, hopefully we took this, cut the right side off. Looks like it's covered with a spring, so let's cut that baby off. All right. So inside here we got a couple of springs that the compressor motor sits on. Other than that, that's pretty simple. Take out my earplugs since I'm probably yelling. All right, so now here's the compressor motor. So you can see there's copper brass plates here, some screws that I'll have to go and get a socket for. This is just covered by what looks like a spring. Let's see if we can't get that off. Probably can't because I cut it. Anyways, we'll work on getting that off too. I'm sure I can. It just might take a little bit. Alright, well, I'll work on that later. Get this thing taken off. Yeah, you see they got, that's just to protect them while they're in there so they don't bend all up. Get kinks and stuff in it. Right? All right, so I'm gonna have to go get my 1/4 inch socket set, get some of these off, take this apart, and then we'll look and see how we get this copper out. I'm interested to see how much copper I actually have in there. Kind of got you down here a little bit closer to the action. So I'm just going to start removing things and see if they're magnetic or not. I guess I need to get the right socket. So I know that this is metal. Got my little rare earth magnet. And that's going in there. Alright, well that came off fairly easy. I gotta figure out how to take this out of there. So this is how it works. Pumps that piston. You know, I got to give it to the people that came up with this, how these work, which makes our lives so much easier. But then we've also forgotten how to live without refrigerators and can our beef and preserve it and be able to go all the way across country on a horseback without having a refrigerator. Need to go and grab another socket because these are smaller than the ones that I have on my strip there. So one was a 7mm, that was the first one I used, and this one is a 6mm. All right. The reason I'm taking this apart is I don't know what's in here. And it looks like there might be some copper plates here, but I'm not sure. So, and this is my first time taking one apart, so let's see what makes it tick. Well, there's more oil in here. I don't know I think this is just copper plated, I'm not sure. I think it is. Alright, well, that down there, there's definitely more oil in there. Shims and stuff. I'm guessing this is a, yeah, there's the piston for it. Look, you see it's got two-way piston. This goes there and there. Look at that. Engineering at its finest. All right, well, I don't think there's any more copper on this, so done with that. Now, how in the heck did somebody wrap that in there? I mean, it's pretty cool looking, but see that? All the wraps and everything in it. All right, well, let's... Oh, look at that. Look at how cool that is. I cut that one strand. Now look. Pretty darn cool. Alright, now that's wrapped around there several times. Got it out. Looks like I just soldered on the end. We'll set this in our wire bucket. Peel the copper off that later. It's a fairly intricate weave, looks like. You know, there might be a easier way to do this, but I'm gonna have to look into that. But that wrapping comes off, that's so cool. Now if the rest of the wiring came off that easy. That would be even better. These plates pressed together. I don't know, somebody much smarter than me put this together. I don't know if I can just, if I can put this in a press and press all that. Might just bend some of it and make some of it harder to get out. Hell, I might just need to start cutting on it. When in doubt, cut it. Pretty curious to see how much copper we get out of this thing in weight. Now I'm not doing this to recite or to, you know, turn it in for money or anything like that. I've got some cool little dies and stuff that I'm gonna make some coins and things like that out of. So again, I do this to tinker. Let's see if they come out this side. All right, so I got all those cut. Let's see, off this side. And let's see if I can start pulling them through this side. Oh, look at that. That was cool. Hopefully. For those of you watch my scorpion video, these are my scorpion catching pliers. Now I don't know a whole lot about electronics, but I think that these are all supposed to be one wire or one continuous wire. Maybe each one of these wraps. All right, well, it looks like, all right, so we got the gist of it. I'll show you after I'm done, but it looks like I had to cut one wire, pull it through, and then it was a bundle of continuous wires from the side I cut to the other side. So I'm gonna continue on with this, and I'll show you how much I've collected after I'm done. Welcome back. All right, so when I last left you, we'd only taken out one set. I don't know if we'd even taken out one set. What I figured out that it's like they jump from hole to hole and then they get a little bit wider and wider. So what I did was I just went through and snipped all these this way, and I ended up getting my smaller pair of dikes to cut these, because that big pair, I don't know, I've had them for at least 20 years and they weren't doing so hot. So what I figured out is once you did that, these things come out fairly easily. I did have to use my big set of pliers to get them started, but once I got them going, there we go. And get them out. And I really hope that people don't do this by hand as far as wrapping these things, because, man, that would just be horrible. And then, so getting them out, because they're all kind of twisted up on this side, you see how they're all moving on this side? So I was just pulling out little bits at a time. So this is like what one coil looks like. It's kind of coiling up. But I don't know if you can see this, but this one on the far outside goes to this one, and then there's another one on the inside of that. Hurt my arm last week, so doing some of this prying and prodding is not comfortable. Oh man, that sucked. This just is stuck to the tried and true. Just pulling them out, grabbing them. So now they're all over the ground. But anyway, so what we got here show you. Of course, there's some of them on the ground. Of course, they're not magnetic because they're copper, so I can't pick them up easy. But this is what we ended up with. Nice big bundle of copper wires. And that should fit real nice in a crucible, all twisted up, and then we'll see how much copper we get out of them. So I'm actually very curious, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got 5 more to do. I've got a ballast off of an old light. I got another motor. I got this little fan motor that I got to do. So, yeah. So I'm excited about getting ready to melt this stuff down. But all right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in on this one. Once I get all this stuff prepped and everything like that, I'll weigh it out before I melt it down. So I'll show you guys that. And it's gonna be there's gonna be some delays between this and my meltdown video, because right now it's I think August 16th, It just rained tonight, so humidity is pretty high. I think it got to 108.
You don't have any
So,
events on your calendar for today.
I don't know what's up with that guy. I didn't ask him anything. But anyways, about 108, so I'm going to wait a little bit before I do the meltdown, but I will get this video posted and then keep you updated. All right. And as always, take care, America. All right, so we've got all of the, and I don't know why I started all my videos with all right. Anyways, all right, so guess that's my little go-to. So we have cut open all of the compressors from the refrigerators, and in some of them, after looking at it and feeling the difference in weight, I found that some of these were actual copper and some of these were, it's called copper clad aluminum. So they have a copper outside but an aluminum core. So I went through and I separated them. What I want to do is weigh out and see how much I have in each one of the weights. So I've got my kitchen scale because I'm not fancy or anything like that, but I'm gonna try to get all of these, or as much as I can on the scale. Is that on there? Let me recenter that. Let's turn this on. All right, we're in grams. Let's do units. Fluid ounces and ounces. All right, we've got that now to ounces. Let's tare it. All right, we're at 0. So I'm going to do the copper first. I'm going to try to get this all in one fell swoop. And some of this is different color. I did go through and make sure that this was copper. And you kind of tell the difference by just the way it feels in the weight of it and how it feels in your hand. So, but I might have to do this in 2 separate weighing. Make sure it's all on there correctly. All right, so 3 pounds, 15.8 ounces. So it's almost 4 pounds of copper. Now, set that aside. 0.1 ounce off, so let's tare it again. And now this is the aluminum core, or copper coated aluminum, and you can just feel the weight difference in it. And this is almost the same, the piles are almost the same size, but you can definitely tell that this is lighter. That didn't work. It's like playing Tetris. All right, nothing touching the table. All right, so this is 1 pound, 7.1 ounces. So you can see that almost the same size pile and the difference in the weight measurement. So 4 pounds, about 1.75 pounds, roughly. So huge difference in the weight. So I'm setting this all aside for right now. I just wanted to show you cutting this stuff open. and just seeing what was inside of it. I found it kind of fascinating how they work, and then I actually looked up refrigerator compressors and the operation of them, and it's pretty cool. But whoever came up with this is definitely much more of a genius than I am. Anyways, so I'm gonna put this stuff aside. I've got more stuff that I'm gonna break down. I've got a aluminum block from one of my son's cars, and he cracked the block on it. So I'm gonna take that apart, then remove all the metal and bust that thing up in chunks. But I just wanted to show you this right here, and then as the weather cools down, I'm gonna start doing some schmelting. I don't know. Where's the damn schmelt? I don't know. We're just I've got that forge, and so I'm going to use that. So there you go. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much. And as always, America and Arizona, have a great day, and God bless.